Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, today's travel day for me. I'm getting ready to head to the airport in a few hours. My son is still upstairs sleeping. It's pretty early in the morning when I'm recording this. I like to get up early, get ready, get going. But I did have some news stories out there because people have been asking me. A lot of people are concerned after that story of the gentleman going overboard on the Carnival Valor and saying he doesn't know how he got overboard. Is it that easy to fall off a cruise ship? Well, let's discuss that. We also have, those shore excursions that get canceled because you can't go into port? Well, we have one city saying, hey, you should still pay for those shore excursions because of, they have to hire people and buses and things like that to get ready for that day. And if you cancel, we're out all that money in the hiring. So there's a big interesting story there. And then I have to talk about Princess, one of my favorite cruise lines, and what the heck are they doing with pricing. Okay, well, first off, let's talk about the gentleman who went overboard. He seems like a very nice guy. I've watched the interviews and everything. I'm not going to talk about the story about him or anything, but I'm going to talk about the facts and the history of all the studies that have been done so far. Since 2009 and 2019, a total of 212 people have gone overboard on cruise ships. And under searching and investigations by police and even FBI in some cases, every single one has been found to either have been caused by 1, going overboard intentionally, 2, foul play where somebody intentionally pushed somebody or threw somebody overboard, or a fight or something along those lines, or person did something foolish like climbed over the balcony railing, jumped in the water as a joke, those sort of things. All 212 were found to be done on purpose, which is quite amazing when you think about it. It really is very, very hard if you've been on a cruise ship and you see the railings and the ships don't rock like this anymore like they used to 30 years ago. It's basically impossible to go over unless you try and do it, or somebody throws you, or it's a thing you're doing like a selfie or something along those lines. Well, let's go over the entire amount of people. It seems very prevalent, right? Well, no, it really isn't that many people who go overboard on a cruise ship. Even when you hear all the stories sometimes of people doing that, in the 10 years, there was 212 people who went overboard. In those 10 years, there were 13.7 million passengers in the United States alone, not around the world. And those facts about going overboard are around the world. So that's a lot. That's the big. You want to know what the odds of you even intentionally or even going overboard? It comes to 0.000001%. That's pretty good odds, I'd say. I bet you have a bigger chance of slipping and falling in your shower and hurting yourself than you do of going overboard on a cruise ship. Just wanted to clarify that because a lot of people, I got some emails from people who've never cruised before and are thinking about it, and they were a little nervous when they saw that story. He doesn't know how he got in the water. He just woke up in the water. He was unconscious, floating, and the ship was gone. Like I said, don't want to say anything about the gentleman. He seems a very nice guy and everything like that, but the stats and everything kind of, you get it. Okay, on with the next story. We have a place in Australia, Albany, that it doesn't get a lot of cruise ships. And so when they get a cruise ship, it's a big event. The shops are busier. They make a lot of money in these smaller towns. And the last 3 cruise ships, since the pandemic ended there in Australia and the ban on cruise ships was lifted, have been canceled. Now, they've been canceled because of weather. The pilot and the captain determined the weather was just too bad to try and pull in or tender. I think it's a tender port. So they just couldn't stop. They had to skip the port. Now, there are some vendors out there, tourism vendors, who are saying, hey, we had buses lined up, we had drivers lined up, we had shuttles lined up, we had people on staff to meet the cruise ship that day, and we have to prepare for that and pay for all that, and they didn't show up. And we're out all that expense, etc. And they're saying there has to be some compensation for that. You can't just say we can't come in. They understand the reason they can't come in is because of safety, and obviously that's the first choice, right? That's the very first thing that has to be considered. Is it too dangerous to do? But they said, this is 3 times in a row now, and they haven't made a single dime from cruise ships coming in, yet they've had to pay out all this expenses. They say there's some of the shops and everything have brought in extra staff for that day, and then the cruise ship doesn't arrive. And I can see their point, right? If you're a small business and you're struggling, especially after almost 2.5 years of being no business from tourism, and even now, you're not getting that money in, even though you're spending it, it can be a rough decision. But then this conversation comes to who pays. Because right now, if you're on a cruise and they say, sorry, we can't get into port because of the weather, you're refunded that money, right? The money comes back to you. If they start saying they need compensation, who's going to pay that? The cruise line? Well, if the cruise line pays that, we're going to pay it. It's going to have to come out of our money in some way, because we pay for the cruise. Are they not going to refund our money? Well, a lot of people will not book shore excursions till the last minute then when they're sure they're going to go into port. And then you won't know how many people you need and how many buses you need and what event's going to fill up. Because people are not going to spend, in some cases, $300-400 a person on shore excursions if they're not going to be able to go and not get their money back. I wouldn't. I would just walk off the cruise ship and say, oh, this is a cute town, and then go back on my ship. Because that is exactly, the point of being able to refund those monies. And then there are going to be the other people who will also say, well, look, if you're, say it's Christmas time right now, and you're expecting a lot of people in for Christmas shopping, and you bring a lot of extra staff on board, and then you have a huge snowstorm, and nobody can get to your store for 2 days. Do you charge your customers when they come back, hey, sorry, you couldn't come in the last couple of days, you got to pay us some money because we couldn't make any money the last 2 days? It's a very slippery slope to go down, and I don't know the resolution to it. But when you get the benefit of extra tourism in your town from the cruise ships and everything, you can't complain when something happens and you don't get the benefit of it if you want that benefit. Because if you want to start charging them and you're a small port, they'll just go someplace else. They'll spend another day at sea. They're not going to try and alienate their clients in any way, or they're not going to want to spend extra money in the port. So it's an interesting conversation. I'm curious to see what you guys think. What would you guys do? Who do you think is right in this case, right? No matter what, if they get compensation in any sort of way from the cruise lines, it's going to come back to our pocketbook. And are you okay with that? I don't know how many people would be. And speaking of pocketbook, let's talk about Princess. Princess has just announced their Princess Plus and their Princess Premier packages are going up, and they're going to include some stuff in it. It's going to be better value. And I'm looking at it and going, it's not. And hey, I love Princess, but guess what? It's not a better value. It's a better value maybe if you're a particular person. For instance, in Princess Plus, the added value you're going to get extra is that you get 2 premium desserts a day. From Swirls and places like that. Okay, great. Oh, and you can attend 2 fitness classes a day. Okay. Oh, and you're also going to get your medallion will be shipped to you if you live in the United States, which, by the way, they already do for free. They already do that for free right now. but it's like the Disney, the Disney one that they have. You have to pay for that now, and at the beginning it was free as well. Well, not anymore, and apparently not anymore on Princess unless you have the Princess Plus package with the drinks and everything. And so if it kind of boggles my mind that they offer free premium crafted desserts and 2 fitness classes. Those two contradict each other, right? One is going to make you heavier, and one is going to keep you in shape. Are they trying to say, well, if you're going to have those desserts, you're going to need the fitness classes, I guess. And then the premier goes up as well. Again, the juices and smoothies included from the juice bar. Is that something that's worth extra money every single day? I don't know if it is. I don't know if it is. And the fitness classes, I could care less. I can go to the gym and do a workout myself. I don't need to attend a fitness class. There's desserts all over the cruise ship. There's cookies, there's ice cream, there's everything all over the ship. I don't need 2 premium desserts every single day. But I guess maybe somebody would like this, but I'm not a fan of this decision at all. It just seems like let's throw in a couple things that a lot of people aren't going to use anyway, and we can increase the price of it and charge more. That's what it looks like down here. And then a big one. The big one for me is the internet package. So currently, if you buy an internet package for 1 day, it costs you $9.99. Well, that's going up to $15 on February 20th. So a 50% increase for one device. Well, if you want to have more than one device, for instance, yourself, your wife, your computer, and maybe a tablet, so you get the 4-device plan, well, that's going up quite a bit now. That's going up from $14.99, are you ready for this, to $40. Almost a 200% increase in instantly, like this. Now, here's the thing. I've been on some Princess cruise ships where the Wi-Fi is really, really good. And I've been on some Princess cruise ships where it's atrocious. So you know what you're going to do now, Princess, by doing this, is you're going to have a ton of people calling your customer service on a daily basis demanding for today, give me back my money for today because I couldn't connect to the internet. If you're going to charge me $40 a day for my internet, it better work, and I better to be able to do what you say I can do. You say I can stream movies, you say I can do all that stuff, I better be able to do that, or you're going to have to give me some money back, because that's what you claim it does. And you can't just say, oh, sorry, bad weather up above, it's not our fault. You're going to have to do something. At $14 a day, people let it slide. At $40 a day, they're not going to let it slide. They're going to be down complaining about it every single day. And so, yeah, I don't know. I do not agree with the new packages. And I sell Princess a lot. I have my groups on Princess a lot. I don't agree with the price hikes. I don't agree with what they've included in them. I don't think it's value for your dollar, but that's just me. Maybe everybody else out there will think, hey, the 2 fitness classes and the 2 desserts, that's a good idea, and I like that idea. And yeah, I understand the $9.99 for 1 device a day, and then $14 for 4. That's not a big difference. I would have been okay if they would have doubled the price, right? $30, okay. 4 devices, $30. You get, basically you're paying for 3 devices and then 1 device free. I'm okay with that, but now they hiked it to almost where you're paying today's price for all 4 devices. There's no savings whatsoever. The only reason there's a saving is because they're raising the price for 1 device as well. So let me know in the comments down below. What do you guys think about that? Do you think the compensation should be given to transport companies and tour operators when we don't show up because of weather and things like that? And yeah, I hope you're relieved a little bit to find out that it's very, very, very ultra rare to actually fall off a cruise ship. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. We'll see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world. Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.